Welcome everyone to another episode on the finished article, and we're back with another episode on all things Sky Blues. It's been a while, guys. Hope everyone's safe and well. We are on the race to 100, but without further ado, let's get into it. So as always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate the love and support. And as just mentioned, thank you very much to those that have helped us get to 100 subscribers. We are on the race to 200 now. So a big shout out to those who have helped us subscribe and giving us love and show. As always, please drop us any comments or notes on things you'd like us to see covering forward. But without further ado, I'm going to share the Twitter handle on here. As always, you can find my Twitter handle there. So drop me a note if there's anything you want me to cover on future episodes. And you can see the finished article Twitter handle, as well as Facebook and YouTube. We will be doing a prize draw for the 100 subscriber at some point this week. Apologies due to various reasons we haven't done it so far. But without further ado, we will be getting into that. Another thing we have done is we have got fantasy football for the finished article going. So those that have subscribed and are on the Fantasy Football League will be in the prize draw for the end of August prize, which we'll be doing in a few days as well. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel to be in with a chance of winning. But without further ado, let me bring the main man on, Richard Home. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Bit of a miserable weather outside for a bank holiday, but
yeah, I was gonna say it's not been the most pleasant
cold
weather.
August day.
Nice. How's things with you? Hope everything's well.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Fair enough, mate. Well, we'll go into it. Let's get straight into it. So the first thing we're going to cover today is a quick recap on the QPR game over the weekend. I mean, I'll give my thoughts to kick off. Generally, I thought City played quite well. As funny as that sounds, I know we lost, but we are definitely going in the right direction, creating a lot more chances. Unfortunately, as the saying goes, if you don't put the chances in the back of the net, you're not going to win. But generally happy with the creativity, but we do need a proven goal scorer. I'm not sure why Godden wasn't playing. I don't know whether he's being nursed back for injury, but I definitely think that he's one that needs to get more game time. Wagon's been decent, but Rich, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the game myself. I was out with the family Saturday, actually, but it was I only really read the reports on Sunday, so don't know a lot about it at all. But from all the reports I've read, like you basically said, we had the chances in the first half to take the lead, and then just didn't put our chances away. Second half, QPR got into the game. Robin said in the report, I read something, he said that Waghorn and Gokares started to tire after 65 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I had the same as well.
And then QPR got the goals. But it's one of them. They're a good side. They'll probably make the playoffs this season. QPR, I mean, so.
But I mean, just in general, I mean, a point that you touched upon there was the fact is that if you look at when Robbins took over, was it 4 or 5 years ago now, we were struggling to create chances and play this sort of attacking brand of football. I think we're not going as gung-ho as we did last season. And as we've mentioned, I think this has quite been our best start to the season for a while. 9 points from, 15, I think it is. Not a bad return.
Way I'm looking at it is we've got a 100% record at home. And what was it they say? Win your home games, draw your away games. Well, if we'd done that, we'd be on 9 points now. And we're on 9 points. So we've done the equivalent of that. So
yeah, fair enough. Well, we won at Blackpool away, so that's at least we've got the win away from home. Barnsley, we were unlucky. Say again?
I'm saying we're averaging a point a game away from home, so I'm winning the home games. So
no, that's fair enough. I mean, what's your verdict on the start of the season? I know we're only a few games in, but what do you think of this side and lineup so far?
To be honest, it's better than I expected. To be honest,
okay.
Results-wise and performances, obviously the 2 games I've seen, 2 home games, and from all the reports I've read from the games I've not seen. So,
I mean, what do you think the atmosphere at the CBS is like? I mean, do you reckon it's a lot better than it was before in previous years?
Yeah, I definitely think the fans are getting behind the team. There's far less negativity than before we went to St Andrews, the Rico in previous years, and I think that's. I mean, the team have earned that support. To be fair, because they've put the performances in. Improvements have been made on and off the pitch, and I think the fans are appreciating that a bit more.
No, that's true. I mean, I think we've broken our season ticket record in terms of number of fans that actually bought season tickets this year. I think it's over 10,000, which is quite an achievement considering when we were at the where was it, St Andrews. We I think was it 6,000 season ticket holders. So not a bad return since we've come back.
I think we had even less than that in League Two.
Yeah, League Two. Well, yeah. I think apart from yourself and a few others, I think everyone else was just making it to games as and when they could. But now that's fair enough.
I think with the prices, I think even if you can only make games as and when you could, it's still better value to get a season ticket. Even if you're only going to make it to half the games, get a season ticket.
I would absolutely encourage that. I've done the same, and I have shared my season ticket with the guys. So you should have it in the next couple of days. I believe I sent it to Adam. So if he's not already received it, he should get it this week.
Priority for away games and cup matches too. So
yeah, absolutely.
If you can afford it, and you think you're going to go to half the games or more.
Well, it's pretty cheap. What was it? 299 before the deal ended. I think it's 375 now.
I think when we got ours, it was £13 a game, but I think it's £16 a game now, I believe.
Yeah, I think it has jumped up, but no, that's fair enough. So, guys, another segment that Rich wanted to talk about today, and this has been on the boiler for a while, is best and worst away grounds visited. So I'm gonna let Rich start with this one and take us through what he wants to share with us. Go for it, mate.
I suppose I should start with the best. So, obviously the new Wembley.
Yeah.
The obvious ones: Old Trafford, the Emirates, St James's Park. They're the obvious ones for the good grounds I've been to.
Rich, I want to bring this question up here from a fan. So I appreciate this comment from Sky CCFC. Thoughts on Todd Kane's signing?
Yeah, has he actually signed, or is it just a rumour still?
Well, I've heard that he was on the verge of signing. I don't know if it's true, but do you know much about him?
Not that much. I saw some lad on Twitter was giving him some stick earlier. It must have been probably a fake account or possibly a fan of another club on the wind-up, but basically saying, I hope we didn't sign him. That's what someone was saying.
Well, I've heard
that's a great motivator for the poor bloke.
Yes, I think it's currently a rumor, Sky CC, but it seems likely that it's going to happen. No, it's fair enough. I mean, anything that helps strengthen the lad up and the team, I think would be great. Moving on, I mean, thoughts on Colin Hawkins?
Colin Hawkins, he the guy we had back in 2007, centre back.
It's fair enough. I mean, you never know what
in the past.
Yeah, no, that's a blast from the past. But yeah, I mean, I think there's another one. Darren Capp has actually shared one that the lad from Bradford I've heard where on the verge of signing him. Well, I think it's between us and Huddersfield. But yeah, that's an interesting one. I think he'd be a decent signing. And as always, this is a good one actually. I think Shipley, Pask, and Hillsner will move on as well. Well, isn't Shipley linked with Portsmouth?
Shipley's linked with Portsmouth. I mean, it might be a loan move. Jabello, I read somewhere he'd done some interview in France in one of their magazines or papers, and from what he was saying, I don't think he's enjoying things. I don't think things have worked out as well as he'd liked at Coventry, and I don't think he's overly happy with the situation. I know he had the injury, so I can see him being on his way out.
No, that's true.
He's been told he can move on, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He has been told to move on. So, but no, that's interesting. What about Hillsner? What do you reckon about him?
again, I think I've only seen him play the once in the friendly with Rangers, and he didn't do a lot in that game, did he?
No, I think it was a one-off. I think he might move on. It'd be interesting to see how it goes.
Obviously, had his issues with his fitness.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, guys. We'll be picking up more of your comments as we go. But this one's actually good. Gibello is a bad apple from what I've heard. Plus, Kelly and Bright are training with the under-20. Yeah, Kelly's been injured actually, hasn't he?
Yeah, it would be good to see him. It would be good to see him back.
Yeah, that is true.
What we need.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But guys, we'll be picking up more of the comments as we go. But Rich, going back to what you were saying, you were going through some of your favorite and worst grounds.
Yeah, I've got my list in front of me of the ones I've been to. I'm trying to find some real bad ones. Yeah, I remember going to Brighton's old one when they were playing at the Athletic Stadium.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was a summer day when we were there, but obviously no roof on the stand. It was quite. And then I've been to the new one since, and that's quite a nice ground, but you can't park nearby it. You've got to park up and get a ring and ride. And I made probably bad judgment of taking my partner, who's not been to many football matches before, to Brighton away in the cup when she was 7 months pregnant.
What was this when Johnson Clark-Harris scored?
Yeah. I looked at it, I thought, obviously we were in League Two at the time. I thought we're going to all these small stadiums where you've not got a lot of space, you're crammed in. I thought I'll take her to a nice big modern ground. I kind of underestimated how many City fans would be there. So I've got my missus 7 months pregnant walking through the concourse. And then it wouldn't.
I don't even know how you managed that.
But where else? I'm just looking through some of the others.
What about Forest Green? Let me ask you about Forest Green.
Yeah, Forest Green would be quite a nice little ground for about the 8th tier.
I was going to say, I couldn't
be a bit harsh, yeah. They've done the best to make it welcoming, but Gillingham's was a funny one. That's another one with no roof on the stand, and I went there. It was being held up by scaffolding, the away stand. Yeah. And people I know been there years ago said the same. They had the scaffolding holding it up then. So whether they've had the same dodgy builder who did my bathroom, who basically started to do some work, then cleared off and never came back.
That's messed up. I mean, do you remember when we went to Filbert Street?
Yeah,
back in the Prem days.
To mention that, because we were a Premier League team at the time.
Yeah,
probably a little bit of an anti-Leicester bias here, but probably it was the Premier League snobbing me at the time. But I remember thinking that was a bit of a dive. They only had the one decent stand and the two little stands, but it's probably no worse than a lot of the grounds we went to in League Two. But at the time, that seemed like...
No, that's right. I've got a comment here, Rich. I'll bring this up from Sky CCFC. So he goes, my away best ground is Anfield, but always liked MK Dons in Notts County. Actually, yeah, that's a good one. What did you think of MK Dons?
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere there. Obviously, I don't like MK Dons as a club because of how they came into existence. But I remember, yeah, the new ground's nice, decent atmosphere, especially when we packed the away end. But I remember when Wimbledon first, they were still playing under the name of Wimbledon when they first moved to Milton Keynes, and they're playing at the National Hockey Stadium. Mm-hmm. I remember going there. That was a interesting experience. Another one.
No, that's true. No, I remember we went to the MK Dons. Was it last year or the year before when we ended up, was it drawing 0-0? And that was that missed penalty. Oh, that still hurts. Yeah, who's missed penalty, but here's another one.
I've seen us win there a couple of times though. The Maguire free kicks, that was a very good away day.
Darren's also said best ground is Newcastle walking away a couple of years ago. Was shocking.
I really enjoyed, even though we lost, I really enjoyed going to Newcastle in the Cup about 2005. That was 16 years ago now, but cracking atmosphere. But I just remember being so high up, and Steve Staunton was the City left back at the time. Everyone around me was giving our left back stick all game, and then I got home, went on the internet, found out it weren't even Staunton playing; it was Stuart Giddens. who were so high up there in the away end that
You couldn't tell who it
you need
was.
binoculars to tell who's who, but it is a good ground.
No, that's true. That's true. But here's another one, actually. So Sky CCFC would say West Ground would probably be a baseball ground, followed by Sixfield. I never actually went to the Sixfield, but what was your take on it, Rich? I know you went to it a fair amount of times.
Wow, it was typical lower league ground, to be fair. I mean, I went to a friendly there once. This was before the City had their season there. And we got there, it was in the middle of the summer. And my mate says to me at the time, he says, should we bother paying to go in, or should we just sit on the grass verge with a couple of beers and watch for free? Because you could see half the pitch from the outside.
Yeah. I remember, yeah. No, I never actually went. I know we had a great start to the season there when we win like 5-4 or something against Bristol.
Yeah. At the 5-4 and 4-4 against Preston in the next game.
Yeah, it was Callum Wilson and who's the other guy that scored? I can't remember now.
The last time I was there, when obviously back playing away there, it's the year we went down from League One. Horrible, toxic atmosphere that day.
We
lost 3-0.
They've come a long way since those days. And another comment here. Yes, peeps. I appreciate the support, Shaz. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. Big up to the channel. Thank you very much for those that tuned in. Those that are watching, appreciate the comments. Let us know any other grounds that you'd like to bring up.
Remember Goodison Park? I went there years ago in the FA Cup. It was one of my early away games, and that's a nice stadium. Good old-fashioned ground. There's always some debate. I know some people prefer the modern grounds, but I think some of the old-fashioned grounds have the best atmospheres.
No, that is true.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember
I don't remember it too well, but I did quite like Goodison when I went there.
What about, I think, were we back in the Premier League at this time? I think we might have been when we went to Selhurst Park and watched, was it Crystal Palace, I believe it was?
Yeah, I think when I went with you, it was Wimbledon, wasn't it? But I went there a couple of times to see us play Palace. And I remember being there. It was actually my first away game, or one of my first, and I was only 11 at the time. And I hadn't realised then that fans stood up at away games. So the teams came out. I'm thinking, that's all right. Everyone will sit down in a minute. Next thing I know, everyone's celebrating a goal because Taufer had put us ahead after 43 seconds. And I missed it because I was only small, so I couldn't see. So then for the rest of the game, I stood on my chair.
Nice. Rich, you got a compliment here. I haven't bring this up. Rich looking slick with his new haircut.
Thanks.
Rich is good for the podcast as always, looking dapper as always, bro.
My 6 monthly haircut. Well, a little bit more than that.
Now I remember last time you like trimmed it up, brushed it up. There's another one. Darren Capp says Dell Southampton away. Did you ever go?
Dell? I never went to the Dell. I've been to St Mary's. That's a nice ground. Similar sort of size to the CBS, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I remember going there when Bale was playing against us and he scored a free kick.
Oh, Gareth Bale. The man loves his golf more than his football.
Kind of regret never going to the Dell and regret never going to Upton Park.
Oh, did you never go Upton Park?
No, I never went to Upton Park.
Okay. Have you been to the West Ham's new stadium?
No, well, I've not played them yet. So since they moved there.
That's true. Fair enough.
Going through some of the others.
I definitely think Wembley was good. Filbert Street, that was a shocking view. Whoever else, Selhurst Park. What did you make of the atmosphere at Notts County the year we got promoted?
Wow, it was cracking, wasn't it? I mean, I think it would have been a good atmosphere wherever we were playing that night because of the occasion. But yeah, I think sometimes the smaller grounds have the better atmospheres when you're crammed in. I'm just looking through a list of some of the ones I've been to. Colchester's new ground. It's a nice enough ground, but there's no pubs or anything nearby. So you want a beer, you either got to pay the stadium prices or get cans from the petrol station over the road.
Did they even let you bring that in? Did they let you bring it in?
They wouldn't let you take it in the ground. You'd have to stand outside and. No, any away ground where there's no pubs nearby is not great, but it's a nice enough stadium. Remember Colchester's old ground, Layer Road, and it was another one I think we were Championship at the time. So if I'd gone there when we were a League One or League Two club, I probably wouldn't see it as a particularly bad one because it would just be a standard for. But obviously, because I went there when we were a Championship club, I remember going in the away end toilets there, and there only being one cubicle. I'm thinking,
Oh dear. Oh, I've got another comment here, Rich. This is slightly different, but I'm going to bring it up. So it goes from Shaz. What's the best goal you've ever seen live from Coventry? Go for it, Rich. I know what my favorite is.
yeah,
My favorite
first,
is Hyper Road, Lee
are you
Mills.
thinking Robbie Keane against Arsenal?
You saw that. I enjoyed the Lee Mills cracker. Do you remember when we were saying sign him up? Oh,
Yeah,
great,
and then we
great
did,
goal.
and then we were asking why we signed him.
Oh man, that was great. I appreciate that.
Richie Partridge, remember him? He scored a good one once when he ran the length of the pitch, beat a load of Reading players, and buried it.
No, I do
But
remember
yeah,
that.
I think Robbie Keane's against Arsenal on Boxing Day.
Fair
Has to
enough.
be.
He goes, Darren's got a comment here. Darren went with your brother Rich to Upton Park and got smashed 5-0.
I remember that day. That was the year we didn't win away from home, wasn't it?
Oh, crikey, that was interesting. Yeah, we actually
Yeah,
did well
Brian
at
Entry playing
home.
for us back then.
Oh, jeez. Sky CCSC has said that Oxford was a decent away day. Have you been Oxford?
I went there for a pre-season friendly. I got the
Okay.
train into town centre. Then it's a bit of a trek away from the centre, isn't it? Or was it?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I had to get a bus from the town centre to the ground, but yeah, it was a nice enough ground.
Nice. And then Darren has also said Dennis Wise volley away at Hull. Yes, I remember that. I saw the highlights of that. You could
overhead
go.
kick, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
Luton's ground's a funny one. You have to it feels like you get to the ground, you feel you're on Coronation Street.
yeah. What about? I remember. I forgot about one. What, is it Blackburn away when we won 4-1 and Misfit scored a double?
Yeah.
Blackburn away was good as well. So Sky CFC no real amazing run versus Southampton followed by Biamu volley versus Yovo. Yeah, I remember that Biamu goal. Classic.
Season. One game I missed that season.
Oh, is that the game you missed?
Yeah.
Right. It's probably not a bad idea anyway. But going on, another comment. Which away ground had the best atmosphere? I will let you go with this one, Rich.
I mean, Old Trafford, the night we beat them in the League Cup, it's not always a great atmosphere there, but I just think the occasion. Like, I went there to watch England play once. It weren't a particularly great atmosphere because it was just against Andorra. But yeah, when I went there for that League Cup game on the midweek under the floodlights, that was 11,000 City fans there. That was a good one. Arsenal in the League Cup.
No, that's then they were
Smaller
never.
grounds. Peterborough away when we went there and won when John Stead scored. When we put a little run together, and I think that was a pretty good atmosphere. A lot of the time, it just depends on the occasion rather than the ground itself.
No, I remember I enjoyed the atmosphere at the League Two playoff final at Wembley. That was a surreal atmosphere. I remember. I think I was sat next to Kinzet at the time, and you were sat. I think a couple of seats next to him as well. No, great day.
But
great day.
West Brom away, when we got thumped 5-0. City fans didn't stop singing. There's a video on YouTube somewhere of City fans singing "Twist and Shout." Yeah. You hear a cheer in the background go up. I think it was West Brom had just scored the 5th goal, but the City fans just sang through it. It was just one of them days.
Wasn't it the same when City played Watford away? And although they lost in the cup, was it last season? I think it was. They lost in the cup, but the atmosphere apparently from Watford fans said that it was a cracking atmosphere from the away fans. Interesting.
Yeah. I see the City fans on Saturday were being praised. 2,000 of us there. Well, I wasn't there, but I mean 2,000 Sky Blue members of Sky Blue Army there, and apparently there wasn't a single ejection, and there wasn't a single arrest, and it was a very good atmosphere. And so credit to the fans that went to that game.
Very true indeed. Now it was great to see so many Sky Blue fans there Great atmosphere. Like I said, we were unlucky. We just need to be a bit more clinical, but yeah, great atmosphere nonetheless.
Speaking of atmospheres, we've got to give it a mention. The old West Terrace at Highfield Road.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. It beats any away day I've ever been to. I don't think it compares to anything. In fact, I'll be honest with you, still miss the Highfield Road days. I don't know whether the CBS can live up to that. I don't think it can. But no, absolutely miss Highfield Road. Great stadium.
We're seeing which of ones of. Remember, been to Molineux, and
yes,
one thing, and this has been an issue there for years. They put the away fans directly underneath the home fans. Say so you got the home fans throwing stuff and spitting and throwing coins at the away fans. This has been going on for at least about 25 years. They've been positioned there, but I think last time I went to Wolves, I couldn't get a ticket. I was late getting my ticket, so I ended up having to sit in the Wolves end. I was in their sort of family stand, but I jumped up when Aaron Phillips equalised.
How'd that work out, mate? They're like, oh, sorry, man, there's a little cramp in my leg.
Luckily, I was sort of in their family stand, so I probably got away with it lightly. Plus, it was late in the game, so if I'd have been ejected, it would have. It was one of them. I'd had it in my head. I can't jump up if we scored, but because it was just so late in the game and the way the game had gone, I just couldn't help myself. And I'd had an operation the day before, so I had a big bandage around my neck as well. So,
actually, you know what? Darren's brought up a good one, actually. I watched this game on TV, but it was great. Sunderland away when we won 5-4.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. My only trip to the stadium for a City game, we lost 2-0, so...
I remember that 5-4. That was hilarious. If you guys want to watch it, just go watch Sunderland Till I Die. It's on episode 6. Absolute cracker. And it was good to see Sunderland fans take it from who scored it? It's Connor Chaplin.
Connor Chaplin, the winner, didn't he? Shipley. And
Bright scored as well. I think it was. Interesting. Now that's good, man. That's good. Any others, Rich, you got on your list?
Just going through them. See this? I don't know if you've ever used a football ground map website. You can tick off. It's pretty much got.
How many grounds have you got now?
I've got 121 on here, 76 for me, but it includes things like the Shilton playing fields are on there and things like that. So there's probably a lot more on the website, like Allard Way. So this is the City Ground, Nottingham Forest. I don't particularly like that one because they charge away fans a lot, and the stewarding when I've been there has always been very heavy-handed. They're coming around constantly telling the fans to sit down, and
they don't like
get that away games.
I got another comment here. Ben Watkins said Stadium of Bright that day. Yeah, no, he's right. He's referring to that 5-4. That was definitely a great day, and I'm sure those
the third or the second in that game. I know he scored in the first half.
Yeah, I think he scored
first half. He got one of the goals in the first half, didn't he?
Yeah, first half. Yeah, it was definitely the first half. Because the second half it was Shipley and Connor Chaplin.
Yeah, was going through some of us.
Ben said it was the second goal. Nice one, Ben. And then for a non-Coventry game, has to be the new Spurs ground.
Yeah, obviously I've not been to the new one, but went to White Hart Lane, and that's probably the old White Hart Lane before they knocked it down and rebuilt it. And again, I miss the old-fashioned grounds in a way. These modern stadiums, they're nice enough, but I do think for atmosphere, the old-fashioned grounds are probably better.
No, that is true. I mean, I think that these all-seater stadiums basically lose the atmosphere. It's basically now more the pitch is further away, and the atmosphere doesn't seem as good. Highfield Road was sick for that. You couldn't beat it. Are there any old school grounds around? I think Sawhurst Park is still there.
Goodison Park.
Yes, Goodison Park. Yeah.
But they've been talking about moving for years, haven't they?
I think they are on the verge of moving. Actually, this Ben raises a good one. Staying up at White Hart Lane in '97 probably tops down Notts County away. Nice.
Yeah, I can imagine that would have been a good one to be at.
Yes, I remember. You can't miss for that great day. That's good.
I'm just going through some of them. Cheltenham Town were quite close to the pitch at that one, aren't we? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was quite easy for the fans to run on after we won that penultimate league match in League Two there. In fact, I don't think I could avoid, as I was leaving the ground, I don't think I could avoid stepping onto the pitch.
You couldn't help yourself. You were like, yeah, I need to get on that.
It was just the layout of you're so close to the pitch as you leave the stand.
You're practically on it by the time you leave.
Yeah.
No, fair enough, man. That's good. That's good.
Where else? And I know my brother drove his car once accidentally into Rotherham's, not the new one, obviously, but Millmore, their old one.
How did you manage that?
He'd got to the ground. He'd got there quite early. He thought, I'll look for somewhere to park. Drove through a gate. Next thing he knows, he picks pitch side at Millmore. It's a few hours before kick-off. So he's like, oh,
that's hilarious.
Obviously, you had to get out and find somewhere else to park.
That's the one we definitely need to get Andy on here to talk about that. That'd be great to hear that story. Oh, nice.
Just going through some.
Actually, Benrace is a good one. Actually, I like St Andrews as they had an old school feel like half of the road. Worst away day was probably Main Road as our coach got bricked in Mass side. Plus Wolves away was pretty scary.
Yeah, I was at Main Road for that FA Cup game when there was all the trouble. 2001. It was the year we went down when I think Sean Goater scored against us in the last minute.
Yes,
he set it up and then celebrated in front of the City fans. The next thing, it was all chaos inside the ground. Then they locked the City fans in, didn't let us leave for ages. But all that did was gave the Manchester City fans a chance to get round to the away end to be ready with stuff to throw at us.
They were just looking for a fight.
Yeah, I think once I was outside, when I was outside the ground and onto the coach, I think I moved pretty quick that day. I was only a kid, so it's like.
Yeah, it must have been a while ago. I would say it just depends on. Well, as long as you got away safely, that's the main thing. We don't like to see anyone get hurt. Have you ever been to Millwall?
Yeah. Well, Millwall's probably a pretty safe one to go on the coach because they lock you in as soon as you get there. And then you get off the coach, and then you got these big metal fences around you, but you've got a load of Phil Mitchell lookalikes on the other side of the fence shouting how they want to beat you up.
Dear. Yeah, definitely not going to Millwall. I'll say that much.
When I did go there, I think I was glad I went there on the coach.
No, that's true. I mean, St Andrews was good. I know it was a home away from home. That had a bit of an old school feel to it, which is nice. We actually played well there. It's good to see us come back home and actually perform well. But Rich, if there's no more, there's one other topic I want to cover with you before we wrap up today. So tomorrow's transfer day deadline, and I know some of the guys have already been commenting on it, but is there anyone that you think we need to bring in?
Well, I don't think Troy Deeney's a realistic target.
Actually, before I go on, Ben's brought up this good one. He said he's looking forward to Fulham away. Actually, is that one that you're actually going to go to? Fulham away.
Well, there's two in the Championship I've never been to. One's Bournemouth, the other's Fulham. So I think an away day in London with the lads.
Yeah.
Been a while since I've had a London away day. So.
No, it'd be good. I might look into that myself. But yeah, anyway, moving on. And I think Darren's Deeney's gone to Blues. Oh, okay. Apparently hometown club. Fair enough.
He wouldn't go for any other reason.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, but you reckon we'll be signing ones? I know some of the guys have put some of the comments at the start.
I'm more worried about who we could lose.
Realistically, who do you think will go?
I don't know. I mean, I know in our WhatsApp group, someone posted that the Villa are coming in for Hamer, but I think that was just a wind up. I'm hoping it's someone on the wind up.
Yeah, I think he's not had enough caffeine. So, Ben, I would suggest you stay away from the keyboard tonight. No more silly rumors from you. But yeah, go for it, Rich. Any other thoughts?
It was Adam saying it, weren't it?
Adam said it. Oh yeah, sorry, apologies. Yeah, Adam said it. My bad. I know Ben does come out with something wacky as well. Because Dan has joined Reading. Interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded seeing him back. I know. How old would he be now?
Mid-30s.
Mid-30s, but he'd still do a job. No, I don't know what happened with Martin Craney in the end.
Yeah, did he not sign? I thought you said he was
still training with us.
I haven't heard any different unless anyone else in the stream knows.
And Biamu still hasn't found a club yet.
Yeah, Biam. You know what? Someone's just gonna end up saying Biamu should sign again. But I can't imagine that. It's gonna be hilarious. Oh dear. Fair enough, mate. But as always, I think we're gonna call it a wrap for this episode, unless Rich has any further to add. Actually, let's see. Darren goes, yeah. Shipley, Jones pass, loan. We need another left back. Craney let go. Okay.
Yeah. Because he kind of went quiet on that front with Craney. He was on trial. I think someone told me last week he was still training with us, and then just not heard nothing since. Jones, yeah, definitely a loan spell could do him some good because to get his game time up. Same with Shipley because he's not getting the games. Shipley's one of these players I'd love to see him stay and do well with the club because we know how much he loves the club. But if he's not getting the game time, it might be time for him to move on. But perhaps, Darren's alone could be the answer.
Darren's point is interesting because we do actually need another left back. But question is, have we got enough budget to be able to get someone on loan? Let's have a look at what Ben's saying. He was training to keep fit with us. Don't think we've got enough money to pay him in budget. Interesting. Yeah, Craney. Okay.
Yeah, I suppose with Craney, he wouldn't automatically be in our starting 11, but it's just he'd be useful just because he can play anywhere in defence. So
okay,
but he wouldn't. He'd be far from being an automatic starter for us. But I would have took him if. But
no, that's true. So Darren's also come up
with the odds for him.
Yeah, Darren's come up with another one. Isn't Kane a right back? That is interesting. Not actually sure. Let me have a look. Pod Kane. Let's play Chelsea. As a right back, yeah, he's a right back actually. That's good. Yep, nice. But as always, guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. As always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much for subscribing. We are on the race to 200, as I've mentioned. Is another one from Ben.
I think we've had a few more viewers today. Certainly a few more.
So Ben's come up with another one saying we've been linked with a striker, Yogi Casido from CSK Sofia. Interesting, actually. It's not a bad idea. We probably do need a striker that can put the ball in the back of the net and keep competition up.
Yeah, he's not one I've heard of, to be fair, but
no, that is true. But I guess Robbins knows the wheelings and dealings. But as I was saying, as always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate the support. We are on the race to 200, as I mentioned. And as always, follow us on our Twitter handle, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can see mine and Rich's Twitter handles below. Hopefully Rich's Twitter is active this time. Last time, so just give us a shout there. And you know the drill, guys. We have got a fantasy football league, so please join in for that. We are currently.
You're not doing too well in the fantasy football.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a slow start this season, but you know what they say, mate. It's a sprint, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
I've heard you and Adam are both struggling. I heard, but I can't judge. I can't judge because I'm doing terrible on the Super
You know,
Six.
you know what? I've actually letting Dave and Andy get ahead just to give them a bit of confidence. But you know the joke.
I don't play fantasy football, but on Super Six, I think my missus has beat me the last 2 or 3 years running, and she doesn't even like football. So
Interesting. Actually, there's a comment from Darren here. He goes, "Are you guys doing a show tomorrow?" So, Darren, we will look to try and do more shows. Rich, when do you want to answer this one? When do you want to do a show? Another one?
it's just fitting when we can, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. But Darren, yes, stay tuned. We will be doing a lot more shows near future. But if there's anything you want to see us cover, just drop us a note. I'm more than happy to fit in more episodes.
Feel free to come on and join us on a show one day as well.
Absolutely. It'd be great to have more guests on, give different opinions. But thank you very much for those that have tuned in. Stay safe. Have a good evening. And until next time, take it easy. But until then, play up Sky Blues.
Yeah, play up Sky Blues.